Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I thought we could have a little fireside chat, I guess, and talk about just something different here. I'm trying to expand the types of videos I'm making on this channel here in 2022. And so what I thought I would do today is just run through, I guess, my decision-making process when it comes to potentially purchasing new gear that I feel can work for me in this business, photography business. So I know as photographers, I'm pretty sure I speak for most of you out there, we all kind of have a weakness when it comes to the shiny new object, the new camera when it comes out, and it's hard for us to resist not going out and just blindly purchasing it. So I've been trying to have some restraint in doing that when I see something come out, and I try to do my homework and make sure it will be something that I will use. For instance, like the Canon R5C, I didn't run out and grab one of those. It just doesn't fit my more studio-centric workflow. If I was shooting more action type stuff, on the field or in an arena, that type of thing, I feel like that could fit in with me. But I feel like I can get along with the R5s that I'm currently using. But let's talk about this camera that should be coming out or should be announced next week, which is the R5C. And I'm referring to the Canon Rumors website. It's one of those websites I follow just to kind of stay on top of what could be coming out in the future and that type of thing. Kind of keep my eyes out for certain things that pique my interest. And this is a camera that I feel might have a place in my kit. So I feel like it would work well with what I travel with now, which are two of the R5 bodies. So this is when I head out for a shoot, this is basically what I pack out. I've got one of the bodies with a battery grip on it, and then one without. And they can be swapped out based off of, something happens with this and I need the battery grip for one reason or another, then I can, switch it on there, mainly if I'm shooting more vertical type stuff. Back in the Nikon days, I needed the grip to increase my frames per second, but that is not necessarily the case with this camera. So it's nice to have a smaller form factor. So some jobs I will employ both camera bodies and have just two different lenses, and then I'm quickly just, shifting them, switching them back and forth. Or I guess more frequently, I'm using a primary and then this camera is in my bag. But when I'm hired, I'm usually a photo first, or pretty much 95% of the time it's photo first, and then there could be video parts to the job that are added on that I would, we normally shoot the stills and then move to video. So I've got both of these cameras set to mirror each other. So that is one thing. In my mind, I do have like the presets for video on this backup camera where I can switch to video quickly, but at the same time, it's just a little more stress, I guess, involved in having to switch this camera over to video. I know it's real simple, but it's in my head. It's something that it's a big step for some reason. So when this camera was announced, it piqued my interest because then it could be a third body which could actually back up these two because it's got the same sensor as these two cameras here. So it would work well with stills. I'm shooting with the Canon C70, which is my primary camera here, making these YouTube videos. And I could, I guess, pack that with me, which I've done in the past. And it would serve as the dedicated video camera, but it would not kind of flow right in with this ecosystem. The menus are different on that camera. The batteries are different. It's got a different ecosystem with the memory cards. And so, it's just, it doesn't flow as seamlessly as something like this would if it was dedicated for video. So I guess for peace of mind, plus making these YouTube videos, I find it a lot easier to get over here and get in front of the camera if it's already pre-set up. Call me lazy, but it's a lot easier than having to pull that out, put all that stuff together and set it up on the tripod. So if I've got that dedicated sitting here with the mic and everything, it's a lot easier for me to make these videos. And I know that, inside my head. So it'd be nice to, have this camera, the C70 for special uses. But when I'm hired for jobs, if they had a body that would seamlessly work with these, like I mentioned, with same batteries and everything, same menu systems, I feel like that has some real potential. So the main differences with this R5C, based off these rumors, I've got a little cheat sheet here. So it has the same sensor, the 45 megapixel sensor, which is big because back in the day I did have the R6 with the R5 and the R, because I couldn't get two of these, and I had the R6 to back up that R5. And I compared those. I'll link that video up here. And I just need the extra resolution just for peace of mind as well to give to my clients. I'd rather have the extra resolution and not need it than need it and not have it type of thing. So I knew that, and that's why I sold that R6 and picked up another one of these. So the R5C could easily fit that bill as well if something happened to both of these, and I could resort to it for stills. The big thing is the dedicated cooling in the R5C. So apparently they put a fan in the new body, the Cinema body, and there will not be overheating like you get in these the original R5s. So my structure of my shoots is normally video would be toward the end of the shoot, and so rarely do I get through, like halfway through a shoot, that I'm not getting the overheat warning on my primary R5. So I know in my head if I have to switch to video with that camera, I would be limited with the options. I wouldn't be able to use the HQ 4K or the 8K. If I needed both of those, I would have to go straight to this body here. A little disconcerting. Plus, sometimes, as I mentioned, I have to use both bodies, and I just don't know where the heat is, on either one of the bodies, and so I just don't know if I'm starting to shoot something, if I'm going to start getting that warning. And that's just, any of y'all that have had that come up, it's something you just would gladly live without. So dedicated cooling on that is a huge upside. It's got the HDMI, the full size HDMI apparently. That doesn't really, the micro, it's kind of, it's a little small. It's a little scary when you hook it up to a monitor, but I'm not totally, worried with that too much. If it was like when I'm looking at making this purchase, if it was like a perfect world, and I know the famous Canon cripple hammer is out there, I would hope that they might include the C-Log 2 for your maximum dynamic range like they have in the C70 there. I doubt that's going to be in there. Another piece, which would be great if it didn't make the body too big, would be the internal NDs, but early word on these rumor sites is that they will not have the internal NDs. If both of those were included, that would just be a complete no-brainer, especially the NDs. Just having to fool with an ND filter on the front of a lens is just a lot. It's a lot more going on than if you've got it internally and can hit a couple buttons. So another thing would be if they have worked on the IBIS system. When you're shooting wide with this R5 video, you can get some pretty crazy wobbles in the corners. So I'm going to be interested to see if they have maybe adjusted that to, I guess, take that out of the equation to, where they've removed that problem. That's going to be another thing I'm going to look at. But probably the two big factors for me are, the one is going to be the form factor, the size of the camera. Hopefully it's not much larger than this. Hopefully everything's the same with the screen, where we can get the flip out. And as I said, if it's not too wide, I know they put a fan in the new one, supposedly. And so I expect it to be somewhat wider, kind of like the C70, but hopefully not as big as that. And then the price, at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to price. I would guess it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the R5, but hopefully it's not something where we have a sticker shock. And so that's kind of, where my thought process is. If the price is fairly close to the R5s here, and the form factor is close to this, then I'm pretty assured that it will be a camera that I'll pick up when it's available. And that's another thing with today's world, whether or not you'll be able to get one in the next couple months at this point. So those are kind of my thoughts when it comes to, you know, looking at a new piece of gear. Those are the specific things I'm looking at in relation to this potential camera, the R5C. So I thought I just would throw that out there, share this with y'all today. So if you enjoyed it, and if you have like any comments or anything you want to add, you know, about this camera, or maybe your process when it comes to, you know, buying new gear, please, you know, leave those down in the comments below. And hit a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and if this is the type of content you like to see, you know, please hit that subscribe button down there and the little bell next to it. I've got some more behind the scenes. I've got 2 more behind the scenes videos pretty much lined up for the next probably 2 weeks, I guess. And so that'll be coming out. So hit that bell so YouTube will let you know when I'm on here as well. In the meantime, you can find me on social media at QuantsPhoto on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all stay safe and healthy out there, and it's going to be interesting to, you know, see what Canon does announce here next week about this upcoming cinema version of the R5. And so, you know, who knows, if I do pick it up, maybe I'll make a video using that camera. That might be something fun too, and compare it to these here. But anyway, stay safe and healthy out there, and I will be here soon in the next one.